Okay, today we're going to talk about unit rates. So, with unit rates, we have a couple of vocabulary words. So, the first vocabulary word is rate. Rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. For example, 3 aides per 24 students. 135 words per 3 minutes. 7 ads per 4 pages. These are all examples of rates. Now, a unit rate is a rate in which the second quantity compared is 1 unit. So, in a unit rate, the quantity in the denominator is 1. So let's take a look at this example. 300 miles in 6 hours. Well, this is not 1. So we need to do miles per hour, but with 1 hour. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can do equivalent fractions. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. Where you would do 6 divided by 6 is 1. So 300 divided by 6 is 50. 50 miles per hour. Or, do you guys remember top in, bottom out? You can typo this out. Top in, 300 inside the house, 6 outside the house. 6 can go into 30 5 times. And 6 cannot go into 0. So you get 50. And you can write it like this: 50 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, or 50 spelled out miles per hour. Okay, so look at the second example. 275 square feet in 25 minutes. Well, if you're trying to find feet per minute, you can either do equivalent fractions. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So divide by 25, divide by 25. Or you can top in, bottom out. So 275 divided by 25. 25 can go into there once. Subtract. 25 can go into here once. So you have 11 feet per minute. Okay, so let's look at the last vocabulary word. A complex fraction. A fraction that contains one or more fractions in the numerator and the denominator, or both. So, for example, let's come up with some. We could have 3/4 divided by 5/6. We could have 1/2 divided by 7/8. These are both complex fractions. You could also have something like 5/6 divided by 4. Those are all examples of complex fractions. Okay, now I want to work some examples with you. And I want to find the unit rate. So remember, when I do the unit rate, the denominator has to be 1. So I want to do 3 ounces for 3/4 cups. And I want to know how many ounces per 1 cup. So you can either divide both the denominator and numerator by 3/4 to get 1, or you can top in, bottom out. Now remember, when you do that, the number on the top is going to be written on the left. So 3 divided by 3/4. Well, 3 is a whole number, so we can write it as 3/1. And you remember, our strategy is keep it, flip it, change it. So we keep 3/1, we flip 3/4, it becomes 4/3, and we change the division to multiplication. We can simplify. Now we do top times top, bottom times bottom. We get 4/1, which is 4. And that's going to be 4 ounces per 1 cup. Okay, let's look at number 3. So number 3, you were going to do 84 miles per 3.5 gallons. But we want a unit rate, so we want the denominator to be 1. You can either do equivalent fractions and divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3.5, or you can top in, bottom out. If I top in, bottom out, 84 goes on the inside, 3.5 goes on the outside. Well, the divisor can never be a decimal, so we have to hop it once. Well, if we hop the divisor once, we have to hop the dividend once. And if the decimal's not in sight, it's on the right. So we're going to add a 0, decimal, decimal. 35 can go into 84 2 times. 35 times 2 is 70. I subtract. I get 140. And then 35 can go into 140 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12, 13, 14. So I'm going to get 24 miles per gallon. Okay, the last one I'm going to do with you is number 5. And I want to get a unit price here. So I want to do money on top divided by the amount of pounds. So the unit price always has money on top and the item on bottom. So remember, when you're doing a unit rate or a unit price, you want the denominator to be 1. Right now it's not 1, so we're either going to have to top in, bottom out, or we divide both the numerator and the denominator by 5. So let's do this. Top in, bottom out. I'm going to go in there 5 times. Don't forget to bring the decimal on the roof. 5 can go into 12 2 times. 5 times 2 is 10. I subtract. 5 can go into 25 5 times. And I get 25 cents per pound. So you can write it 25 cents per 1 pound. Okay, you're going to do 2, 4, and 6 by yourself. So remember, on number 2, you're just setting it up 3 2/3 feet per hour. Remember that this one's going to go on the left, this one's going to go on the right when you top in, bottom it out. You're going to have to make it mad and KFC it. Number 4, this is 105 meters in 15 seconds. You are going to have to top in, bottom out. Your answer is going to be meters per second. The last one, you're going to have 10.5 miles per hour. You're going to have to top in, bottom out. Remember, this one's going to go on the left. This one's going to go on the right. I'll just help you I'll go back and help you set this up. So when you do this, it looks like this. 3 2/3 divided by 11/60. Make it mad. KFC. This is just top in, bottom out. It's 105 divided by 15. This one, same as the number 2. 10.5 goes on the left, divided by a half. Make it mad, KFC. Okay, so your homework is to finish 2, 4, and 6. I'm going to do one more example with you. So let's look at this word problem. Katie and Susan went to the movies and purchased a large drink. After 20 minutes, Katie drank 1/4 of her drink. After 50 minutes, Susan drank 5/12 of her drink. Who is drinking their drink faster? So we're setting up a rate, and this rate is going to be the amount they drank per hour. But we have a problem because this is in minutes. Well, think about how many minutes are in an hour. Well, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So if I was setting this up, it would be 20 over 60. Now 20 over 60 is a great fraction, but it needs to be simplified. So 20 over 60 simplifies to 1/3 hour. Now, we have 20 minutes, Katie drank 1/4 of her drink. So 1/4 of the drink per hour, 1/3 hour. We need to change this to a unit rate, but this is just the setup for Katie. Now we're going to also do the setup for Susan. Susan drank 5/12 of her drink, and she drank it in 50 minutes. But remember, I want it in an hour, so 50 over 60 simplifies to 5/6. So Susan's setup is going to look like this. All right, so now we're going to turn these into a unit rate and then see who drank their drink faster. So remember, top in, bottom out. 1/4 goes on the left, 1/3 goes on the right. Our strategy is keep it, flip it, change it. 1/4, 3 ones, change it, top times top, bottom times bottom. I get 3/4 of the drink for 1 hour. Okay, so Katie drank 3/4 of her drink for 1 hour. Now let's see what Susan did. So Susan did 5/12 goes on the left, 5/6 goes on the right. Remember, our strategy is keep it, flip it, change it. 5/12 flip, 6/5. We can simplify. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Top times top, bottom times bottom. So Susan drank half of her drink in 1 hour. So, who drank more in an hour? Well, that would be Katie. Katie drank 3/4 of her drink in 1 hour, and Susan only drank half of her drink in 1 hour. Okay, the rest of your homework is the evens 2, 4, and 6, and then you're also going to finish off B, and you're going to finish off C. Now remember, on B, this is a unit price. You want to put your money on top, so you're going to set it up $36.75 per 15 pounds. You'll typo this out. Then you'll do the same thing. $49.40 divided by 20 pounds. You're going to see which one is the better price. So when you typo out both this, and this, you're going to see which one is cheaper, which one's the lowest. Whoever had the lowest, it might be the 15-pound, it might be the 20-pound. Okay, the last one you're going to do for homework is C. And so with C, you want to set this up in a table. And you have 120, or sorry, this was a typo. 150 miles in 1.5 hours, and you want to complete the table. So what you can do is you can find the unit rate of miles per hour. So you are going to top in, bottom out, 150 divided by 1.5. Make it mad, KFC. And that will get you what it is for 1 hour. After you get the 1 hour, you should be able to fill in the 2 hours, the half, the 2.5, and the 3.5. Okay, if you have any questions, please come see me in the morning on Monday. Thank you.